Hello there and welcome back to my channel. This time we will be making an 8-ball. So this one in particular has been made by yours truly, so shout out to myself. Anyway, so if you never heard of it, you can basically ask questions and it will reply. We have a finite set of questions, in this case 5, but it could be anything. So we have 5 answers and it never repeats, so each answer is unique. So let's try it out. Will I ever marry? I've been wondering this my entire life, so let's ask. Ha, you wish. Well, that's clear. Now, if you do ask questions, one question gets taken away. So we have 4 left. Anyway, let's ask something else. Is the sky blue? The meaning of life can be discovered under the night sky. Okay. What is my name? Only God knows. Me too. So 2 more questions. Is YouTube great? As I see it, of course. And finally, do you love me? Fuck off. Anyway, now we have 0 questions left. So if you ask something else, ask someone else. So this tutorial will be split in 2 videos. The first video, so this one you're watching right now, we're gonna do the entire layout. All of this will be made in HTML and CSS without the use of any framework, so no bootstrap or anything, just plain vanilla HTML and CSS. And the second part will be the JavaScript, so all of the logic behind it. So let's begin. So the first thing we need is to open our editor and create the files we need. So we need an HTML file, we need a CSS, and we need a JavaScript file. So I'll call it app.js. Alright, let's begin. Inside of our HTML file, let's add all of the boilerplate, so the doc and all this. Great. Let's give it a title. I'll call it 8-ball. And let's link our CSS. So link CSS. Make sure this one is correct. So style.css. Alright, perfect. Let's load it, see what we have. Nothing, of course. And I'll close this. So the first thing we need is to add an h2. Ask your question. We need an input, so for that we're going to use a form. It has 2 inputs, an input type text that says question, and finally an input to submit the form. So input submit is the same as the button. Type submit. And we're going to give it a value of, let's say, ask. Alright, let's see what we have. Oops. There we go. So now, we created our h2, ask your question. We have created a form. And what else do we need? You have, let's start with 0 questions left. Alright, perfect. So let's style this up. Let's give all of the elements we just made an ID for easier access. So we'll call this show because this is what we show. We'll call this one txt, short for text. btn for button, and this we'll call it times. Yeah, or just questions. Now the 0 in particular is going to change. So this one we're going to put it between spans so it can have its own idea. Why? We'll see that in the second part. So we'll call this num. Oh no, counter. Yeah. Alright, so let's style it up for real this time. Let's go to our style.css. Let's remove all of the padding and margin in our CSS. So padding 0, margin 0. So what this does is remove the margin around it. Without it, it's hovers a little bit to the left and bottom. We want it to stick to the side. Alright, perfect. Now let's give it a display of flex so we can center it. So we're going to use justify icon, or first of all, align items to the center. What this does is align them all in the center. Now they are next to each other, so for that we're going to change the flex direction to column. There we go. And the next step is justify content. Now if we put center, they're all going to be in the center. We don't want that. We want them to be evenly spaced out, so we're going to use space evenly. There we go. Next up, let's style this ask your question. We call it show, so let's target show. We're going to give it a font size of 4 times its original size. Let's try it out. Yeah, that's clear. Perhaps a little bit smaller. Yeah, something like this. Next step, for our question bar at the bottom, we call it questions. So let's give that a font size of 1.4 times its size. There we go. Now we're gonna use a different font because this one, in my honest opinion, is ugly. Let's hop over to Google Fonts, and I'm gonna use Roboto. It's a quite nice one looking for me. We're gonna use the most thinnest one, so thin 100. Select this style, embed. This right here goes into our HTML, so we can import it. And the other one, font family, will apply to everything in the body. So now we change the fonts. Beautiful. Let's give them a little bit of letter spacing. So what this will do is make each letter in our title and subtitle a little bit spaced out. So if each letter is a little bit spaced out. Right? Next up, let's make them very crisp. So we're going to give them both a font weight of 100. What this will do is make them both very crisp looking. Alright? Now, next up is the background. So I'll link to this in the comments in the description. UI Gradients is a website where we can easily just take any gradient we want. So I'll take dark ocean because I think it looks good, or perhaps cool blues. No, it does not really matter which one you pick. You can choose whichever you like. I'll take, yeah, this one looks nice. So we hop over to get CSS and you click on copy, and this we can put inside of our body just like that. Just copy and paste. There we go. Now it does not really look good, so for that we're gonna change our body, the size of our body. We're gonna make the width 100% and the height also 100%. There we go. Next step, let's change the colors. So we're gonna make this white, and we're gonna make this let's try 555, so this one will be a type of gray. Yes, perfect. Now let's change our style the form. So for the form, let's see, our form is right over here. We're gonna target the form's text and form button. So these two are these two input fields right here. So for that, we're going to give them both a padding of 10 pixels on the left and right and 15 pixels on the top and bottom. So this will make them both a little bit bigger. Let's increase the font size to, let's say, 20 pixels. Yes. Now let's target the form text and make it a little bit wider, so 350 pixels, perhaps even a little bit wider than that, 400, or even wider than that. Perfect. And let's do the same thing for the bottom. Oops. So we'll give this a width of, let's say, 100 pixels. And let's add a little bit of margin between them. So we're gonna go to the button and give it a margin left of, let's try 20 pixels. Yeah, that looks alright. Okay, let's remove all of this to make it only the bottom border show. So for that, in our form text, we're gonna make the background color transparent. There we go. And we're gonna make the border 0 except for border button. This one gonna be 1px solids. Let's try FFF this slide. Or no, let's try F5, F5, F5. It's a certain type of gray. Alright. This looks visible enough. And for the question, we're gonna target that too by putting form text placeholder. It will have the same color of F5 and so on. There we go. Now if we do click on this, it does not have to show this gray outline or this black outline. So for that, form text focus. So when it has the focus, we want the outline to be 0. Let's see, perfect. And we want the border bottom to be 1px solid, or let's just change the color. We want it to be a certain type of blue, looks nice, so 0099F. So now when we type, you can see that the border becomes blue. If we don't, it becomes white again. And we also want to focus, so when it has the focus, the text color should be, let's see, or not in the focus now. We're gonna put this in the text itself. So the color will be, again, F5, 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 F5. You are free to choose your own colors, by the way, so you don't have to follow me in that. And there we go. Finally, for the button, let's give it a background color of F599, same color. For the border, same thing, solids, and this right here, a color of white. There we go. Let's give it a little bit of a radius, let's say 5 pixels. And when we do hover over it, we want it to have a navy color. So background color navy, border color once again navy, and the cursor to a pointer for that effect. There we go. And that's basically it. Perhaps we can make this a little bit thicker So let's hope for to show and make this a little bit wider and increase the font weights. Alright, that's it. And see you in the next part for the JavaScript.